our new topic. Before moving to that, look at here in front of you. There are 6 images, right? And each image is having different types of organism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
As you can see here, the organism, what you can see here, the blue color one is quite flat, right? Below that, again, they have a flat body shape, right? So flat
Yes, ma'am.
means Platyhelminthes. Okay, they are like a round, proper rounded, proper spherical, not spherical, round, rod-shaped organism is there, right? Which is nematode. Okay, and we are having annelids, the earthworm. Have you ever seen earthworm?
Yes, ma'am.
Ha. So that is annelid. And today's class we are going to discuss about the general characteristic and classification of Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, and Annelida. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In the last class, we have discussed about the Porifera, Coelenterata, and Ctenophora. Can you identify which one is Porifera, which one is Coelenterata, and which one is Ctenophora?
Ma'am, first one is Porifera, ma'am.
Very good.
And um, second one is Coelenterata, ma'am.
Okay.
Third one is Ctenophora.
Very good. Okay. Chalo फिर let's start the topic Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes, the name Platyhelminthes was given by the scientist or the botanist because of their morphology. Okay, as the organism is having a flat body shape. Okay, and that's why the name is Platyhelminthes. This Platyhelminthes is made up of 2 words, platy and helminthes. Platy means flat, helminthes means worms. Okay, so the study of worm is called helminthology. Okay, logos. Logy is the study. Helminth, study of worm, study of helminth is the helminthology. Clear? So, these worms or these organisms, the flat, all those having flat body shape, they are platyhelminthes and they are parasitic in nature. Most of them are parasitic. Some of them are free living organism and Bugacia, that is planaria, is the free living organism. Okay. Apart from that, most of the platyhelminthes are parasitic. Okay, clear?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
The level of organization, till now we have seen the cellular level and tissue level of organization, right? Now the platyhelminthes is the one is having organ level of organization, means inside the body now they are start to forming organs, which is in a very primitive form. Okay, means for some of the function they are having proper organs, and for some of the functions they are not having the proper organs what we are having as a well developed animal. Okay, this image is of planaria. As you can see, they don't have segmentation, right? They don't have any segment over there, which means they are unsegmented. Okay, because the body is not divided internally and externally. Clear? As you can see, we can cut the whole body into two equal halves when uh, there will be a crossing of single plane through the central axis. Okay, and hence it is a bilateral symmetry. Okay, this is the first organism, or this is the first group from where the bilateral symmetry starts. Before that, we have seen the biradial and radial symmetry, right? From here, the bilateral symmetry starts. Okay, so we can say that Platyhelminthes, all the animal of Platyhelminthes are the first bilateral symmetrical animals. Clear? They have a three-germ layer, means they have ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ecto, meso, and endoderm. Okay, and hence they are triploblastic. The body is triploblastic, means the body is having three germ layer, ecto, endo, and mesoderm. Next is body structure. So here the Platyhelminthes, they don't have any coelom, means the body cavity is not derived from the mesoderm. Okay, plus they don't have the pouches of uh, cavity from the mesoderm, and hence they are acoelomate. You can see they are having epidermis derived from the ectoderm, right? They are having endoderm, which is making the different organs, right? But they don't have a cavity lined by the mesoderm, and that's why they don't have coelom and they are acoelomate. Okay, in between the ectoderm and endoderm, they are having a special kind of structure which is called parenchyma. Okay, it is not a parenchyma what you have studied in plant. Are you getting me? The space, the region, or the area between the body wall and the organ is a parenchyma. Okay, and this parenchyma is having a very important function, that is they provide body shape and they act like a skeleton. Are you getting me? So the parenchyma, they have a network like structure, the mesh. Parenchyma network. Okay, they make a skeleton. Okay, and these network, these meshes are filled with the water. Okay, so it is called as hydroskeleton. Clear? Fluid filled skeleton or fluid filled parenchyma network or meshes, they are called as hydroskeleton. This hydroskeleton provides, as it is filled with, this skeleton is filled with fluid, so it will provide turgidity and it will maintain the shape of the body. Clear? Okay, as we already discussed about the coelom, acoelomate. Now let's see the different life processes, how they proceed. So first one is nutrition. As we know that some of the platyhelminthes are parasite, right? So they will remain attached to the host body, host cell, and they will derive the nutrients from there. Okay, and some of the free living Platyhelminthes, for example, planaria. So they will feed on the zooplankton or the phytoplankton, okay? And then these food particles will enter into the digestive system. So we already know that Platyhelminthes is the first organism, first group from where the organ level of organization starts. That means they don't have a complete organ system. So they don't have a complete digestive system, which means the alimentary canal is not completed from mouth to anus. Clear? So how they will catch the food, how they will trap the food, how they will digest the food. Yes. So they have a special kind of structure. They don't have a locomotory appendages. Okay, they don't have a flagella. They don't have a limbs. Okay, they have a special kind of feature, and these features are called as adhesive organs. Which means adhesive tape, which means to stick something, right? If you want to paste something, you use adhesive tape or adhesive glue, right? Right? So the same way they have a adhesive organ so that they will get attached to that particular thing. Okay? And these adhesive organs are suckers and hook. Especially all those platyhelminthes who are parasitic in nature, okay, they will get the benefit from these adhesive organs, suckers and hooks, okay. So here you can see in the image also, they are having hook-like structure, right? From here, they will trap or they will get the or absorb the nutrients from the substrate, from the host or from the environment. Okay. Now from here, the food will enter into the inner structure, that is underdeveloped or incomplete digestive system, that is digestive tract. Okay. And here the body start to produce digestive enzymes, and these enzymes will digest the nutrients. So who will secrete the digestive enzyme? Internally, uh, once they will trap the food now, the epidermis of the body, okay, epidermal cells, epidermal cells present on the body surface they will secrete the digestive enzyme and digest the food particle. Okay, and from here only, from this sucker and hook only, the waste material will come out. Okay, but in normal situation where the digestive tract is complete, from one end the food will enter, and from one end the food is enters, and from another end excreta will excrete out, right? And that's how we can say that this is the complete alimentary canal or digestive system. But in the case of platyhelminthes, from here, if the food is entering into the body, and from here only the wastes are coming out, and that's why we can say that digestive system is not complete. Clear? Respiration. As they don't have a respiratory system, well-developed respiratory system, so they respire through the body surface, okay, the skin, through the skin, the oxygen, the gases actually diffuse into or diffuse out. So through the process of diffusion. Sorry, something happened. Done. So respiration is done by skin surface, body surface. Okay. All the platyhelminthes are aerobic in nature except Taenia. Okay. Taenia is an example of this flatworm, okay, or the platyhelminthes, who is anaerobic in nature, means they can respire in the absence of oxygen. Okay. Excretion. They don't have a well-developed excretory organ, but they have a structure which is called flame cell or protonephridia. Underdeveloped or incomplete excretory tract excretory system is called protonephridia or flame cells. Why the excretory organ in platyhelminthes are called as flame cells? Is there a specific reason for that? Yes. Why it is called as flame cells? Because if you will observe under the microscope, you will find that the cell is like they are having a cilia. Okay, they are making the hair-like projection in such a way that it will look like a candle flame. Okay, so this is the internal structure, and this one is the flame. And under the microscope, it looks like a candle flame. Okay, and that's why this structure is called as flame cell. Okay, as it is underdeveloped, incomplete nephridia or primitive form of nephridia, so it is called as protonephridia. Okay, so this one is the complete structure. It is the flame which is having cilia. Okay, and this is the base like a candle. Okay, so this is the candle, this is the flame, and all together it is a flame cell. Clear? This is the reason why the excretory system is called flame cell. Okay, nervous system. They don't have a proper nervous system what we are having. They are having primitive form of nervous system, because from here the organs are getting to develop, right? This is the first group from where the organ level of organization actually starts. So as you can see in the image also, it is looking like a ladder, right? Ladder is there. See, from both the sides they are having the joining sleeping line like that, and they are looking like a ladder. So nervous system is a ladder like. Okay, and they are having the ladder like structure. They are having the brain, the nerve cells. Okay, and they encloses the pharynx. Okay, so platyhelminthes is having ladder like nervous system. Okay, this ladder is having brain and two longitudinal nerve cord. Yellow color one is a nerve cord. Okay. Brain plus longitudinal nerve cord. And this nervous system is present ventrally, okay, on the ventral side of the platyhelminthes. Clear the nervous system. Next is reproduction. The platyhelminthes, yes, Aarti, do you want to say something? Yes, Aarti, do you want to ask? No? I thought you were trying to say something. Okay, now let's see the reproduction. So, platyhelminthes are bisexual or hermaphrodite. Okay, we always use the term hermaphrodite for animals. Okay, we never use the monoecious or bisexual for animals. We always use the term hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means presence of both the sexes in a single individual. Right? So they can reproduce asexually as well as sexually. Asexually, that is through the regeneration process, right? In your class 8, in your class 10, you have studied about the regeneration and the example was planaria, right? Yeah. So asexually can reproduce, they can reproduce asexually through regeneration process plus binary fission. What type of binary fission? Transverse. There are two types of binary fission, longitudinal and transverse. So they can reproduce through transverse binary fission. Now let's see the sexual method. So they can reproduce sexually also, and we know that they are hermaphrodite. Both the sexes are present in one body only. So you can see here they are having pair of ovaries, right? Testes. They are having oviduct, genital pores, right? So what they will do, they will release the ovum or egg from the ovary through the oviduct, right? It will move, and from the testes, sperm will enters into the structure, and here the fertilization will be the cross and internal. Okay, internal fertilization takes place. Means the body, the organism will not release the gametes in the external environment. Clear? So, what happens when the two worms will come together, okay, in a opposite direction, okay, as the genital pore, that is the female part, and penis. So when both the when both the worm will overlap in a inverted position, okay, in that situation, one of the body will receive the sperm, okay, and internal fertilization will take place. After the zygote will develop into the larva. Okay. So they can produce different types of larva in a different stage. Okay. Some actually platyhelminthes, most of them are the parasitic. So half of the life cycle they will complete in one host and half of the life cycle they will complete in another host. Okay, so let's see the different types of larva. Okay, so first example in a liver fluke, Fasciola, liver fluke. Here the larval stages are like Miracidium, Miracidium. Then there will be the sporocyst, sporocyst. Then there will be the radia. Don't forget, these are the larval stage. Okay, larval. Okay, then Cercerdia and Metacercadia. Cercadia, then Metacercadia. Sorry, Cercaria, not Caria. It's quite difficult to remember all these names accurately. Okay, so whenever you are remembering, memorizing the name of the larva, please write and uh, more times, then only you will get to familiar with the names. Okay, so this is about the liver fluke. Now let's see in a tapeworm. Tapeworm. So they have a oncosphere. Oncosphere. Then they have a hexasin. Then cysticercis. Cysticercis. So these are the larvae in tapeworm and in liver fluke. Clear? Now these larvae will complete their whole life cycle and it will turn into the adult one. Now the classification. So this classification of Platyhelminthes is actually based on the types of their life mode, means how they are changing into which body shape, their digestive system, their shape of the mouth, their position, their habitat, how they are living their life. Okay, on the basis of that, there are three classes: Turbellaria, Trematoda, Cestoda. Okay, so here the Turbellaria is the fresh, free living freshwater or the marine. So basically, it is free living. And these two are endoparasitic. If it is a free living, so what will be the example? Planaria. Yes. Trematoda. Trematoda, sorry. Trematoda, they are having suckers. Okay. That means the example will be fluke, right? Liver fluke, fasciola. Fasciola. Then cestoda, tinea, pork worm or the beef worm. Okay, so pork worm is Tinea solium. Scientific name for this worm is Tinea solium. As I'm writing, it's a handwritten, so it should be underlined. Okay, so in Turbellaria, suckers are absent. Okay, in Trematoda, suckers are present. Okay, in Cystoda, along with the suckers, they are having hook. Okay, hook-like structure. Here, so this is about one one feature. Another feature was whether it is free living or endoparasite. So Turbellaria is a free living, rest others are the endoparasite. Trematoda is a flatworm and Cystoda is a tapeworm. This is very important. Trematoda is a flatworm and this one is a tapeworm. You can remember from this also. Clear? Then Turbellaria can reproduce asexually as well as sexually. So asexually through regeneration, okay, and sexually, but they don't show any larval stages. Whereas Trematoda and Cestoda, they shows their larval stages. They have a larval stages, okay. As the Trematoda and Cestoda, they are parasitic in nature. That means they definitely complete their life cycle, some phases of their life cycle in the host also, right? So Trematoda is having two hosts, and that is primary and the secondary. Primary is the sheep and goat. Okay, and they complete their another phases of life cycle in secondary host, and that is snail. Tinea solium. As I told you, it is a pork worm. Okay, and another species of Tinea is a beef worm. That means one of their stages of the life cycle they are completing in pork and beef. Yeah, pork is what? Pig. Beef is what? Cow. So they are completing, for example, Tinea solium, they are completing their whole life cycle in two hosts. One is primary host and another one is secondary host. Primary host is the man and secondary host is the pig. Okay, for the beef worm, primary host is the man and secondary host is the cow or buffalo. Clear? Now let's see Another, so we already discussed about the whole class, the features of classes. So shall I move further? Yeah. Hello, Auntie. Now the next phylum is Aschelminthes. Okay. This Aschelminthes is also called as nematoda or roundworm or Helminthes. As they are round in shape, so it is called as roundworm. Okay, as they have the ability to form S or spherical shape. If you will cut this phylum, the body, you will find they are having a circular cross section, right? And so it is a roundworm. They have the ability to form a S-like structure, cyst-like structure. So it is called as S-helminthes. S-forming worm. Okay. They have a special feature nymph. So it is nematoda or Nemahelminthes. Okay, so these nematodas are freshwater, seawater, soil, humus-rich soil. They live in such places. That means some of the nematoda are aquatic and some are terrestrial. In terrestrial, humus-rich soil, right? In aquatic, some are freshwater, some are marine. Okay, even all those who are not free living, they are parasitic in nature. They have a organ level of organization, because we have seen in the platyhelminthes from here till the mammals. Now we all will have a organ level of organization. Their body is not segmented and the shape is quite elongated, stretched. Okay, if you can see, they are elongated, cylindrical shape, and the ends, both the ends are quite taper. Okay, especially the end, the tail side is very tapered and make a very pointed end. Okay, as compared to the mouth side. They are also triploblastic, and they are having pouches. Okay, which is not a pure coelom or the body cavity, that is pseudo coelom. Triploblastic means they are having three germ layers: ecto, endo, and meso. Okay, and the outer layer, the epidermis, is having a thick layer of cuticles. Okay, that makes the epidermis, the body surface, intact and protective, because most of the function is going to perform by the epidermis only. So there was a chance, because of the environmental factor, epidermis can get damaged, and that's why they develop the waxy layer, the extra protective layer, and that is cuticle. Okay, now let's see the coelom. So here in the roundworm or the Aschelminthes, the mesoderm will not form, will not encloses the body cavity, but they will make a small pouches. Okay, they will make a pouches over there, and these pouches are called as pseudocoelom. These pouches are actually present between the ectoderm and endoderm, means somewhere around this, right? So this is the only phylum who is pseudocoelomate. Okay, either uh, either the phylum will be acoelomate or coelomate. But this is the only and only phylum who is pseudocoelomate. Okay. Digestive system. Okay. In the Platyhelminthes, digestive system was not complete, right? But now in the Aschelminthes, digestive system is complete because digestive system is consisting mouth to the anal pore or anus. If the organism is having this canal, then which is having mouth at one end and element anus at one end, then only we say that okay, the system is complete. Okay. Yes. So how the digestion takes place? As they are having complete digestive system, means they are having opening of mouth and anus. Along with that, they are having muscular pharynx, intestine. Okay, as they are having pharynx and intestine, so these structures will secrete the digestive enzyme, and slowly, stage by stages, they will digest the food and remove or excrete out the excreta. Clear? Okay. Respiration. They don't have a respiratory system, proper respiratory system, and that's why they respire through skin. They exchange the gases with the help of diffusion. Diffusion of gases. Here, they don't have a circulatory system. So with the help of diffusion only, the gases will move from one cell to next cell to the next cell like this. The proper respiration will take place and the transportation will take place through the diffusion process. Clear? They have excretory system, and that is excretory system. That is protonephria, just like in Platyhelminthes. Okay, and that's why it is written as a excretory system is simple. Protonephria. But they don't have a flame like a shape. So we will not use the flame cell for Aschelminthes. Okay. They have a proper tube-like structure which is H in shape. So can we write it as a H-shaped excretory tube? Through which they remove all the waste material. Nervous system. As you can see in the image also, they are having a ring-like structure, right? Ring-like structure, which is present or which is surrounding the pharynx. That is ring-like structure. So this ring is made up of nerve cell. So we can say this is a nerve ring. Okay, and this ring forward backwards tempers. Clear? Reproduction. They are not hermaphrodite. They are dioecious. Means one will have a male part and another will have one will have a male and another will have a female part. If any organism is showing this type of characteristic, it is called sexual dimorphism, means two different morphology. Okay, the sexes are separate and showing the different morphology. For example, in humans, Male looks completely different, female looks completely different, right? And because of the morphology, from the morphology itself, we can identify which human is male, which human is female, right? Right? So the same way, uh, we can identify which one is male and which one is female in Aschelminthes. If we are able to identify the male and female because of the morphology, we use the term sexual dimorphism, two different morphology. Clear? Okay, now let's see what kind of morphology, what kind of differences are there. Okay, so this one is female. If you can see, in the female, at one end there is a head and at another end there is an anus. Okay, at the end of the tail there is an anus. But the end of the tail is not rounded or not move, circulating or making a ring-like structure at the end. Whereas in male, they have uh, not the proper pointed, but the end of the tail is moving and uh, make a circular type of structure, right? Ring like a structure. So this is one of the differences. The female, the length of the female as compared to the male is more, right? This is the longer as compared to the male. Clear? Then another difference, the head of the male and female. What is the difference they have? Any idea? What kind of differences they have in male and female? Male consists penile spicule, okay, okay, and they have a cloaca. As you can see in the image, they are having cloaca, which is not there in the female, right? So these are the difference. Clear? Please write it down, the difference between male Aschelminthes and female. Number one, male is shorter than female. The tail of the female is straight, whereas the tail of the male is curved or bent. Male contains penile spicule for copulation. And they have a cloaca. Whereas cloaca is absent in female. Clear? Okay. So during the process of copulation, okay, they both will come together, overlap on each other, and the male one will release the sperm, okay, and through the cloaca, they will release the sperm, and now through the opening pore, okay, the anal pore, the sperm will enter into the body, female body, and internal takes place. After the internal fertilization, either the direct or indirect development of the zygote takes place. Clear? Now let's see the classification of Aschelminthes. Here the classification of Aschelminthes is completely based on the presence or absence of phasmid. What is phasmid? What is phasmid? Yes, what is phasmid? No. What is phasmid? Aarti, you told me that you have covered this topic in your school. Tell me what is happening.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Sorry. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. What you asked,
Yes.
ma'am?
What is phasmid?
False feet is pseudopodia, ma'am.
Sorry.
False feet only you asking, ma'am.
Phasmid. 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 Yes. What is phasmid? Phasmid is actually a cuticular layer, okay, which is made up of single cell, okay. So if it is present or not on the basis of Aschelminthes is classified. So if one of the class is M phasmid and phasmidia. M phasmidia means it is not there and phasmid is not there, and phasmidia, phasmid is there. Absence of phasmid, and this one is presence of phasmid. Okay, so in M phasmidia, phasmid is absent, while M phasmid are present. Now the question is, what is M phasmid? Phasmid is the unicellular sensilla in the lateral tail. It is a unicellular sensilla. Sensilla. Okay, on lateral tail. Now, what is emphasmid? Emphasmid is a particular structure that have a cuticular protrusion which helps in the penetration. Okay, so what is the emphasmid? Emphasmid. Absence of phasmid. Presence of cuticular protrusion, okay, for penetration. This. And the example is Lactus. Now let's see the phasmidia, where the phasmid is present. An example is Enterobius. Enterobius is the uh, parasitic in nature and it causes disease. Okay, there is not much to learn about the classification of Aschelminthes because it is not in our syllabus. Okay, another example of Aschelminthes is Ascaris, that is intestinal worm. So let's see the list of nematodes. Nematoda. Number one, ascaris. That is, ascaris is what? Intestinal worm. Okay. Another example, in Enterobius, that is the phasmidia. Okay. This Enterobius is also called as pinworm. Enterobius is also called as pinworm. Another example is encyclostomata. Encyclostomata. Encyclostomata are the hookworm because they are having hook-like structure, hook-like shape. Another example is Wucheria or filarial worm. Filarial. This filarial worm causes elephantiasis, where the limbs become elephant-like. Okay, so these are the examples of nematodes. Okay, done, Aarti. Okay, chalo, let's take a small break for 5 minutes and then we will continue with the annelids or Annelida. Okay, let's take a break for 5 minutes. Hello, Auntie. Hello. Hello, Auntie. Am I audible? Okay. Now let's start the phylum Annelida. The name Annelida is made up of two words. Annelida. Let's split the word annulus and litos. Annulus and litos. Okay. The annulus means ring and litos means form. If any organism is having a ring-like body form, they are called as Annelida. Okay, annulus and litos are the Greek term. Okay, and from here the word Annelida is made up of. Okay, so all the Annelida, all the organisms belongs to this phylum. They can survive or inhabit either in a freshwater, marine water, or moist soil. So basically, the idea is to survive, to complete their life cycle, they need moisture. Okay, either they are terrestrial or aquatic, but they need water. In terrestrial, they can survive, inhabit in moist water. Some of the organisms are free living, where like earthworm, whereas some of the organisms like leech is the parasitic. Okay, this one is the leech. Yes, they are parasitic in nature because they feed on the host. Okay, Annelida, they are having organ system level of organization. Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes, they were having organ level of organization. Okay, and from the Annelida, now we are going to see the level of organization as an organ system, not the organ. Clear? They have a bilateral symmetry. If you will cut the body, okay, if you will cross the single plane through the central axis, you will find only two equal halves. Okay, so it is bilateral symmetry. As you can see in the image also, they are having lines, right? Means the external lines is dividing the structure, okay, externally. So externally it is called segment, okay, and internally they divide the form in the form of septa, okay. Externally there is a segmentation. Externally there are metamerism or metamers or the segments. segments or metamers, and internally they are divided as a septa. Each segment is called as metamer. Clear? So they have a body segmentation. The first segment of the body is peristomium. Okay, and this is completely different from the other segments of the body. Okay, this peristomium is having the outgrowth. Peristomium is having outgrowth. Okay, and this outgrowth, we use the term this outgrowth as a peristomium. So this segment is having peristomium. And what is peristomium? Outgrowth of this segment. Clear? Now let's see the germ layer or the body layer. The body wall is made up of epidermis and the muscles, because it is a organ system level of organization. So now they are going to have a muscles. So outermost one is the epidermis, and internally there will be the muscular structure. This outer layer or the epidermis is having the extra or additional layer, and that is cuticle, because the locomotion, respiration is done by the epidermis, so they need protection. Yeah, and that's why they have a cuticles. They are triploblastic, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Mesoderm derived the or lined the body cavity, so they are coelomate. Okay, they make a coelom like a schizocoelom or schizocelic in nature. Why? Because the embryonic mesoderm, during the embryonic development, the mesoderm actually splits and then they form a cavity. Normally, mesoderm derive the or mesoderm encloses the cavity. They won't split. Okay, they will form a cell layer, cells, they will make a cavity. Okay, but here in a schizocele, the mesoderm will split and then they make a cavity, and this is called schizocele or schizocoelom. Locomotion, they have a parapodia, the segmentation, and setae. Setae is the limbs-like structure and numbers of limbs they are having, and these limbs are called as setae. And the segments, the contraction, relaxation of a segment. Okay, this type of movement, this structure is called as parapodia. Some of the Annelida is having sucker like a leech. Okay, so what they will do with the help of mouth, let's see this sucker. So this at the mouth they are having sucker. So what they will do, they will attach to the substrate, the surface, with the help of sucker, and then the rest other segment will contract and reach to that. Then again they will expand their body. Now the mouth, the sucker will attach and then contract the whole body surface. Clear? So what are the locomotory appendages? Parapodia, setae, and suckers. Clear? Nutrition. So from the nematodes, the organism is having complete digestive system. As the Annelida is having the organ system level of organization, then that means definitely they will have a complete system for the digestion. So the annelids, they are carnivorous, in nature. Okay, so Nereis are the carnivorous, completely carnivorous. Earthworm is a omnivorous because they feed on the small insects present in the soil, as well as they feed on the plant products also, plant parts also. Okay, then sanguivorous, that means all those annelids who feeds on blood like a leech. Okay, they sucks blood and they utilizes the nutrients present in the blood. Respiration, they have a respiratory system. Okay, and that is closed respiratory system. What is the meaning of closed respiratory system? Closed type, open type? Yes. What is closed type? What is open type?
Ma'am, we have closed type circulatory system, ma'am.
What is that mean?
It means the blood circulate in the closed means the blood circulate through the vessels, ma'am, capillaries.
Means in a closed pathway, right? In a closed channel, blood is circulating throughout the body. If this type of pathway, canal, passage is there in the body, then the circulatory system will be closed. If the organs, all the organs present in the body is bathed in the blood, there is no proper closed tube for the blood, okay, then such type of system is called open. Blood is openly present and all the organs are actually bathed in the blood. So in annelids, they are having closed circulatory system with the help of skin, moist skin. Okay, with the help of skin, not the moist, with the help of skin surface, in a moist surface, in a moisture, and because of that presence of water continuously in a contact with water, the skin surface become moist. Okay, so what happens? The gases present in the surrounding will diffuse into the skin surface and it will reach to the tracheal system. Okay, or if it is aquatic, so through gills it will enters into the tracheal system. Okay, and then to the circulatory system. Okay, clear? So gills are for the aquatic annelida and skin for the terrestrial annelida. Okay, so through the gills and skin, gases exchange takes place. Excretion, they have proper excretory system, well developed excretory system, and that is called nephridia. Okay, this nephridia is a coiled structure, okay, which is highly coiled and compact structure which is present in the segments. Each and every segment is having different structure and they have a repeated. Suppose this is the segment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like this. If in 11 segment they are having nephridia, okay, so from here the 11th position, the 11th segment will again have a nephridia. So they have a repeated segmentation. Okay, and that's why we use the metamerism for the annelida. Clear? So the structure excretory system present in the segment is nephridia. Protonephridia in Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes. We use flame cell for protonephridia in Platyhelminthes. Yes, and only protonephridia we use in Aschelminthes. Whereas in Annelida, excretory system is nephridia. Okay. In another segment, they are having nervous system. So what is the nervous system they have? Ganglia. Okay. The nervous system is ganglia. So in one of the segment they are having ganglia and in another segment they are having brain. So all together it is nervous system. Reproduction. Annelida are the unisexual organism. Okay, most of them are the unisexual except earthworm. Earthworm is a bisexual or the hermaphrodite animal. Okay, so in earthworm, what will happen? They will overlap in such a way that the cetulum or lithium, okay, someone pronounce it as a cetulum, someone pronounce it as a lithium, lithium, okay. So they overlap in such a way that the male pore of one earthworm will comes in a contact with lithium, okay, and female pore of the second earthworm will overlap on the lithium of the male. Okay, so male pore will release the sperm to the lithium of the female or the another earthworm, as the earthworm is a bisexual. Okay, so male pore will release sperm to the second earthworm, and now from here, from in the second earthworm, it will reach to the female reproductive system where the fertilization takes place. This is the one thing. Another thing, they will release the sperm in the skin surface, not internally but externally. They will fuse the gametes. So it is the external fertilization. Okay. Let's see the classification of annelids or Annelida. Annelida phylum is classified into 4 classes on the basis of presence or absence of locomotory appendages and segments. Whether the parapodia is there or not, whether the setae is there or not, whether they are metamers or not. So we have a 4 classes: Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, Eudenia, and Archaeannelida. So let's see the first one, Polychaeta. Polychaeta, as you can see in the image also, externally they are segmented, right? But it is not only externally, but internally also they are segmented. Plus they are having seta also, right? So as they are having segments, metamers, which means they will have a parapodia also, right? Because parapodia is nothing but the segments, metamers. Okay, so Polychaeta is having all 3 types of feature what is required for the classification, that is segmentation internally, externally, setae, and lateral parapodia. And the example of the Polychaeta is Neris, Aphrodita. Oligochaeta. Oligochaeta are those classes where the organisms is having segmentation internally and externally. But it is not mandatory that, what happened, Aarti?
Nothing, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thought you were trying to say something.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So oligochaeta are those organisms who is segmented externally and internally both, but all the member of this class will not have a setae. Some will have a setae and some will not. For example, earthworm, they don't have a setae. Okay, and the examples are lumbricus, gneiss, earthworm. Now, Eudenia. Eudenia are those is a group of those organisms who is having segmentation externally only. They don't have internal segmentation. Okay, they don't have, they have sucker. Okay, so example is leech. Archae Annelida. Archae Annelida are those is a group of those organisms or the animals who is having internal segment. Okay, externally you will find this in some of them you will find the setae which is very few, very less in number, and segmentation will be the internal and not the external. Okay, and the examples are Dinophilus, Protodrillus, Polygordius, Troglorichitus. These are the examples of Archaeannelida. So this is all about phylum, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, and Annelida. Any doubt, Archie? No? Okay. So in these phylums, the general characteristic, like coelom, germ layer, segmentation, and on what basis we can classify these phylums. Okay, these topics are very important, and the name of the classes and their examples are very, very, very important. Okay, now let's see the question. Which among the following is a property of planaria? Metamorphosis, regeneration, alteration of generation, bioluminescence.
Regeneration, ma'am.
Regeneration, very good. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Mesoglia is present between the ectoderm and endoderm of ovaria that we have discussed in the last class. Radial symmetry is found in Asterias. Fasciola is pseudocoelomate animal. Tinea is triploblastic animal. What will be the answer?
Radial symmetry is found in
Radial symmetry is found in,
Asterias.
are you sure? What is fasciola? Fasciola is what? Liver fluke, right? Right? And liver
Yes.
fluke belongs to which phylum?
Platyhelminthes, ma'am.
Platy.
Helminthes.
So, is the Platyhelminthes a pseudocoelomate, acoelomate, or coelomate?
It is aceromate.
But here it is written as a pseudocoelomate. So, what
Yes.
will be the answer?
C.
C. So, this type of question will come. So, we have discussed today about the characteristic of Platyhelminthes and the classification based on the mode of life. The classes are Turbellaria, Trematoda, Cystoda. Examples of Turbellaria is Annelida. Trematoda, example of Trematoda is Fasciola or liver fluke. Cystoda, example is Echinococcus, Tinea. These are the examples of classes. Then we have discussed about the phylum Nematoda, characteristic of Nematoda, the classes of Nematoda on the basis of presence or absence of phasmid. If they don't have phasmid, the class is Aphasmidia. If they are having a phasmid, then they are called as a Phasmidia. Then Annelida. Annelida are the ring form organism, right? Then we have discussed about the general characteristic of Annelida and classification of Annelida on the basis of presence or absence of parapodia, setae, then segmentation. So we have a polychaeta, oligochaeta, hirudania, and Archaeannelida. So this was all about tree phylum. Any doubt, Aarti? No? Okay, please check your class assessment and start submitting your answer. Hello? Hello, Aarti? Yes. Class assessment done? Okay, chalo phir, let's see the questions, okay? Give me a second. Yes, so first question is animal of which phylum? Okay, it's better to post the question. Oh, tutu RP.
Ma'am,
I can see tutu RP. What happened? You
ma'am, the
joined?
question is not visible, ma'am.
Question is not visible. Please
Yes,
refresh.
ma'am. Their voice is breaking to me, ma'am.
Please refresh.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you find? Yes, Aarti, is it there?
One minute, ma'am. It's showing recording.
Record?
Correct, ma'am. What we learned till now
But why did...
after this lesson.
Okay.
Now it's
Hmm. It's visible?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do it fast.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
first one I wrote A, ma'am.
Animal of which phylum have a hook, sucker, and are endoparasitic on another animal? Platyhelminthes, Annelida, Aschelminthes, arthropoda. And as per RT, answer is option A. Okay.